Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Dorian. I'm a singer from Croatian metalcore modern metal band Ocean of Another, and I'm really happy to show what we do to Australian audience.
My savior, my remedy, losing my senses.
All our songs were inspired pretty much by our own experiences that we had with addiction and mental health struggles and stuff like that. And I know it's a little bit of a cliche to have a metalcore band singing about mental health struggles and stuff like that, but we are trying to create a place of healing where all our experiences are not glorified as such, but it's like a point where we can discuss them to connect with other people, because we think that today in a society where we live in, we are being divided by plethora of differences. This system will tell you that we are all different in such a way that we can never connect, but actually the human experience is pretty much similar. Wherever you live, we all experience the same fears, we all have the same wants, we all wish to be loved and accepted. So we are trying to make our music as a point of healing and connection between each other, and that's why we have a tagline that says "Become a drop in the ocean of another," which means that we have to share that experience with one another, and then we'll begin to heal, and then we will absolve ourselves from the loneliness of our kin. Okay, yeah, this making of this EP was a journey. We usually write more songs that we wish to put out, so we put out 6 songs in this EP, but we wrote around 14. And then I try to do full-on lyrics for all the songs and do vocals and everything. And usually when I approach lyrics, I always focus on trying to be on theme with what I wish to talk about. And I always try to put some parts of my own experiences and then some parts of philosophy that I like, and then I wish to discuss maybe about some things that are still I'm ruminating over. I don't have an answer to how do I live my life, how do I find my spot in the world and stuff like that. So when making this EP, I was focused a lot on feeling alone and isolated from the world, either by choice or by chance. And also I was reading a lot of different philosophy books. So in Loneliness of My Kin, there's a quote by Schopenhauer. In it he says man can do what he wills, but he cannot will what he wills. And then we turn it a little bit around, because sometimes when you cannot will what you will, then you must swallow pills. So we have a quote by Schopenhauer that I turned into man can do what he wills, but if he cannot will what he wills, then he must surely swallow pills. And also there's a song on the EP that's called Overload. When we started writing the song, we started with music, and it was giving me a love song vibe. And I wanted to really write a love song, but I didn't want the song to be a classic I'm heartbroken and I'm feeling really sad song. I wanted to make a love song that says I'm heartbroken now. This is the worst feeling I ever had, but this shows me the depth of the love that I can feel, and in the end I can heal and I can make space for more love. And turns out that was the hardest song for me to write on the EP, and then I had to rediscover some gentle parts of myself to do that, and it was quite a journey, because we started the EP with a song that's called No Time Left to Borrow, and in it I'm pretty pissed at the world we live in, and the chorus starts with a line, we are finally learning that the wrong Amazon is burning. and going from going from that line to like the softest and the most gentle, heartbroken lines 2 songs later, it was quite a journey for me on this EP. So this was like really a EP full of self-discovery, and I really challenged myself to write these lyrics. I think that when you write songs, you have to give something yours. You have to put something yours into those songs, and you have to be vulnerable and you have to be honest. And if the lyrics and the songs are not making you feel exposed and vulnerable, you're not doing a good thing.
This mess is the heart of what I have to offer the world. So
we have a whole range of influences, but we are influenced by a lot of Australian metalcore and metal bands. Like, we are huge fans of Northlane, and I think you can really hear it in this EP. Like, we have those dance synth parts in our songs. We love Thornhill, we love Slipknot. I think Silent Planet left a mark on us with their latest album. We like Spirit Box. We love Plot and New. Plot and New like really changed the way we think about music and the way we approach writing stuff, especially with those 3 EPs that they released throughout I think the last year and a half or something like that. So yeah, those would be like some of our biggest influences, I guess.
all my longings always lead me here.
It's not big, but we are not a big country. We have like 4 million people in total. And in the scene, there's a lot of like different bands doing different kind of things. So it's like really colorful. But a lot of bands around here still have the issue of making it off the ground, because I think Croatia never had like a huge metal band, and there's no template like how to do stuff. I also play guitar in another band called Mantra, and Mantra is, I think, the biggest Croatian metal export at the moment. We are signed to Napalm Records, and we tour Germany a lot, and we are doing some stuff that pretty much no other metal band from Croatia did before. And I think maybe in some years we will have the template for how to start a band. But at the moment, a lot of the bands are like trying to find their voice, which is, I don't know, maybe sometimes can be a little bit disheartening, because you try to do a lot of good stuff and you put a lot of work in and then nothing sticks. But still, we do have like a lot of different bands in the scene that are doing cool stuff. And I'm sure that in time, some of these bands will start to tour and gain more audience. And I have a feeling that the scene started to kind of grow in the past 2 years, and it's developing nicely. So that's pretty cool to see, actually. I think the music videos are really important, especially for us, because it's a great way to expand on the narrative and to do some world building within the music that we write. And I think you can amplify the feeling from the song with a good music video. So at some point, we actually started doing all our videos ourselves. So all the pre-production, post-production, filming, editing, and everything is done by the band and a couple of friends that we work with. And in the past 3 years, the band exists for 3 years. We started it in 2022. Around 10 videos, music videos, and we always try to like make the new video better than the last one, either better with the general idea or to put more money into whatever we want to have in the video. But I think it's really important because the visuals and the visual aspect of what we do really can communicate the message differently. And some people will say today that the music video is dying off, but I think the music video might be dying off in those lazy, if you have like a lazy video, like just you will record something to just have something. But if you really try to make like a creative video, I think it will never die off. That's why we try to like always challenge ourselves. When we recorded No Time Left to Borrow video, we were all like wanted to communicate that this is a really violent song, but it's a violent song because the system is violent and it's pretty much raping the world, both in terms of war and climate change and everything. And we wanted to show that we need to change because we are exploiting the nature itself and we are exploiting each other, and that's really violent. And the only way that the system leaves you any tools to communicate with it is also violence, but then you're pretty much the same as they are. And in the video we have some guys sucking on pretty young girls, which represents nature. And then I enter with a hammer, and then I kill them with a hammer, and then they kill me, and then the nature is above all that. The girl actually ascends in the end of the video while we are all laying down on the floor pretty much dead and bloody and everything. Everything is horrible. We wanted to say that violence might be the only way to communicate with the system, but it's not a good solution. We really need to evolve to another step of our humanity. And that was the idea of the song, which we tried to amplify with the video. And I think that we really did a good job because the violence in the video is really gruesome and it's not glorified by any means. It really looks horrible, and it kind of gives you like that heavy feeling in your stomach. Like, so I think that without the video, that song would like, it would be like a half of the message.
Caresses my face, pulling me out of darkness in this place. Sink your teeth into my skin. I can feel the...
Oh, okay. So I've been doing this for quite some time now, and playing in different bands showed me different ways that people approach writing music, different ways people will approach the business side of things. And showed me different group dynamics throughout the years, and it helped me first and foremost to kind of recognize what people are best in, and to kind of rely on their strengths and not to try to push people to do stuff that they're not good with. But it also helped me to develop my songwriting skills, because I played in a lot of different bands musically, and you have to be able to write different types of music and to understand what works and what doesn't. But the biggest takeaway I have from different bands, especially from Mantra, would be the business side of things. It kind of opened my eyes to what's important and what's not important, and to see how ruthless the music industry actually is. And it kind of helped me navigate all those pitfalls in a way that I can still focus on doing business the right way, but at the same time try and keep the spark of creativity alive and protected from the slimy grip of all those managers and labels and people that are trying to change you just for the sake of changing you. I mean, change is good, but not when like you are being coerced to change to fit into a mold that someone else prepared for you. So I think the biggest takeaway would be the business side and the songwriting part, because now I'm surrounded by 4 friends in Ocean of Another, which also played in a lot of different bands. And when we write songs or when we make like business decisions, we don't have to spend like months thinking about it. We just go through it. Like, you know, we can finish a song, and in a week we can know if the song is good or we need to write something else. And there's no ego about it. Like, this is my riff, I want the song to be on the EP. We're like, yeah, but it doesn't work. Like, you will write a better riff in the next song, or I will write a better vocal line, or I will write better lyrics, or whatever. Like, so I think it's pretty good that we had all those experiences with other bands, because it kind of helped us to focus ourselves and figure out what we want to do and how we do it. So I think that's the biggest takeaway from playing in other bands. And that will be it for me for today. And I wanted to tell you thank you for watching.